Sulaiman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant, breaker of the 7 seals. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. Welcome to Critical Analytics. Sisters and brothers, another session of war talk. As I've been telling you, we are at war. No one's telling you that, but it's true. They're not telling you because they don't know. They're guessing. There's no guessing here. We're at war. Essentially, we've been at war for 50,000 years, but particularly, we've been in a slug-out, drag-down battle for the last 500 years. It really hasn't even been a slug-out. It's just been a total defeat for the last 500 years because they attacked us. They attacked us 500 years, approximately 500 years ago. They began their planning 600 years ago. They attacked us approximately 500 years ago. Attacked us. They attacked us. We weren't bothering them. We were on the continent of Africa, mind our own business. Oh, we had issues, but we was at relative peace with ourselves. We wasn't bothering anybody. We were Muslims, according to understanding of Islam at that time. And then the betrayal came. The great betrayal. It's not the first time, but that's the great betrayal that threw us into this situation. Was thrown into a well. That's Joseph being thrown into a well by his brothers, who was envious of him. See, they try to tell you things happened in the past, or they always divert because they don't want you to know the truth. Everything is either in the past or invisible. All the scriptures are in the past. See, the angels are invisible. God's invisible. The jinn are invisible. The devil is invisible. Satan is invisible. Heaven is invisible. Hell is invisible. Every damn thing is invisible. So what the hell is they talking about? Why even listen to them? Why even listen to them if they don't know what anything is? So what the hell are you listening for? If they don't know what anything is, okay, they can't answer any of your questions. Where's God? Peace. Up there, what's up there? Right? See? Where's the angels? I think there's one on each one of my shoulders. Where's the jinn? I don't know, but they got flying carpets. Where's Satan? I don't know, but he's active. He's tearing up stuff. Where's he tearing up? He's got to tear up the whole world. Where's the dragon? I don't know, but he's breathing fire. Do you actually think about these things? Where's Jesus? Oh, he's in heaven preparing, right? His return. Yet it took him 6 days to build the whole universe, right? But it took him 2,000 years just to go to a place and come back. Does any stuff make any sense to you? You know, it doesn't make any sense, but you don't care if it makes any sense because most of you, right, are demons and devils anyway. And jinn and shaitan, see? And it might make sense. You might make sense of it, but you're not going to tell it because that would give them right to heaven. They have the map. See, somebody's giving them the map. But they didn't give them the compass, and you make sure they never get that compass. Because a map without compass is of no value whatsoever. Because you have to be able to orientate it. You have to be able to say which way is north and which way is south, which way is east and west. Otherwise, how do you know where the hell you're going? So they make sure you have a compass. See? When it's very simple. if you ask the question, who is Adam according to the Sunni? If they make mention of shed blood, if they're not the Europeans, then who are they? If they are, those are the ones that make mention of shed blood. If they are, see what happens? See, if they are the ones, if they are Adam, see, you see what happens? Why they will not give you that compass, even though it's so obvious? Because that means they did not submit to Adam. They totally opposed to Adam. That means they're the jinn. See, that's why they won't tell you it's Adam. Oh, no, we all Adam. They're lying to you, and they know they're lying. War talk. You think they're going to deceive us and draw us a well and betray us and tell you the truth about it? They know that Ishmael is not the inheritor of Abrahamic covenant. They don't even talk about the Abrahamic covenant, even though the covenant is mentioned in the Quran. It doesn't say Abraham. Well, it is an Abrahamic covenant, really. You don't have to say it by name. There's a covenant made with Abraham, so it's an Abrahamic covenant. But they don't tell you what the nature of that covenant is. See? Because inheritance goes to Isaac, which is us. And they did not submit to Adam. That's why they cannot tell you. It's so obvious who Adam is. So, no, Adam is all of us. The prophet said that we are born Muslims and we are from Adam. But Adam was to make mention of shed blood, so as a Muslim, someone to make mention of. See, these are logical arguments. That's why I said Jesus came with clear arguments. These are logical arguments, totally logical, that they will not let you listen to. Because if you listen to them, it'll wake you up. And so now they already got you trained not to listen to any of that stuff. See? They already got you trained not to listen to it. No, even though it's perfectly logical. But they use logic when they want to use it. So therefore, they make sure you don't get a compass. What about false Israel? See? They're trying to tell you, all that happened in the past. No proof whatsoever. None. See? None. Okay. So they're pretending they're us. See? Because to tell the truth that we are the true seed of Abraham, see what happens? That means they're liars. They're usurpers. They're really Satan. Because they are taken and they're part of the process of destroying us. Because they're the God of this world. They're controlling it. That you can't say that. Oh, you can't say it. They control everything. Oh man, you can't say things. And then they say, well, they can't. They're not. And you can't. When they say you're anti-Semitic, first of all, they're not Semites. So how can you be anti-Semitic? They're not Semites. The Arabs are. We are. They're not. Semites mean you came from Abraham. Jesus said they didn't come from Abraham. Said your father is not. Your father is the devil. You're not the seed of Abraham. See? America got the same problem. They can't acknowledge that we're the true seed of Abraham. Because what does that mean? Bam. You said that, that means they're the ones that have been oppressing us. And that means what's going on right now is God is after them. It first would be a plague that would kill the firstborn in 2020, 1619. The 2019, that's 40 years. And then I played 2020. See? And it's right on time. Farrakhan can't tell you the truth about biology. He can't give you a compass on that one. Because you are what your father is. And his father's a devil. That means he's a devil. In black skin, which is called a demon. Still a devil. It's just, they call them demons. Demons are devils. They're just devils in black skin. Or devils in any other skin other than, you understand? So make sure you don't get a compass. See? Go read a compass, right? All of a sudden, all this becomes very clear. Then you know who the demons are. You know who the jinn are. You know what the angels are. You know what God is. It tells you right in Revelation. It says we're the 7 spirits of God. Well, if you're the spirits of God, that means you're the God. But they can't tell you about revelations. We're called angel. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. See, because I'm easing up on you with this one, right? But I'm going to try to lay it out a little more today. See? Because you got the sealed Bible. The sealed Bible is written for the analytical mind. See, that Bible is both minds are there. The analytical mind and the spatial mind, because they knew the split was coming. See, we never had that split before. But now we had a split. The analytical mind and the spatial mind. Just like before, we never had gender before. And then we had gender. We had the male and the female. Before that, we didn't have that. Now we have the split. Right? The mental. So now the analytical and the spatial minds. See? And that's relevant because you never had a Bible before. You never had a book before that was sealed. Because all the books was always just, there was revelations. There was scripture. But this one was sealed. But how was it sealed? See? It wasn't sealed in the sense that you think sealed. It was sealed against the analytical mind, because the analytical mind could not read it, could not understand it. There's no way. Because it's our actual language. It's just in English grammar, but it's our language. It is our actual language. It's the scientists speaking to us in our natural language. That's the way we talk. That's the way we think. See? And it says no one, not even the God himself, right? Because he's analytical. He could not read himself. He cannot read himself. No one in the heavens or the earth, no one, didn't say no man, no one in the heavens or earth or on the earth, right? Only one that Suleiman was able to do it, the Lamb. He was the only one that was able to do it. He's the only one able to read our natural language. And now he's trying to teach you our natural language. It's more so powerful. Like I said, if you took this and try to translate it into analytical thinking, analytical books, you have a library probably big as the Empire State Building, all the books. Because look, all the information, it's 22 chapters. Look, all the information that's coming out of it that I've been revealing to you. Look, all the information that's coming out of it. A little book. There's 22 chapters, look, all the information that's coming out of it. Think about that. Because that's the way we think. That's the spatial mind. It's like an atom. Little atom, but exploded, it blows up everything away, blows everything around. So that little thing, but it blew away everything around it. Because that's our actual language. It's just written in grammar in English, because I know that's the language we'll be speaking in. It's just English grammar, but it's our language. That's where we talk. That's where we communicate. And that's the way. That's how I just talk to us in our natural language. That's how it was sealed, because they know nobody would ever. They know we wouldn't be speaking it. See. And they knew that the uncle of mine, he couldn't speak at all. He'd never be able to speak it. Hey, hold on a second, brothers and sisters. Get over the while. Hold on, let me check something here real quick. A little technical issue here. Okay, that should be okay. See what's going on then. A little better. See, it's a little better here. Okay. Guess I have to work with that. Okay. And then no one, we wouldn't be able to speak it because We've been taught to speak the analytical language, which is a handicap for us, because that's not. And you see, it's trying to break through because our children, right? they take this language and doing things with it that nobody could imagine. They're trying to talk allegorically. That's what they call slang. They really didn't have that before. See, so they call it slang now. See, but it's an approach on allegorical language, because it says in the Quran, right, that no one is written allegorically and no one can understand it but Allah Himself and those firmly rule in knowledge. But that's the language. Those are just assigned to speak to us in our natural language. See, we're going far beyond that, because they was ambidextrous too, right? But they spoke spatially. See, and that shows in the script, because they could speak analytically and spatially. It was ambidextrous. So that's where you got the two books together. You got the analytical side of it and you got the spatial side of it. Analytical side of it is the sealed book. Spatial side of it is the unsealed book. It's your natural language, brother and sister. You will speak it again, the pure tongue that the analytical mind cannot understand. See, that's why it says, right, that the God, right, he'd be technical, analytical, but have no spatial to be able to communicate, just like had a female. There's a female, and she's 10% male, but 9% female. The male is 9% male, but 10% female. They communicate. So, Farad has enough spatial to be able to communicate with us, and we have enough analytical to communicate with him. See? But there'll be two specific languages hereafter. There'll be the technical language and there'll be the spatial language, right? We'll be able to speak both, but we'll be fluent in the spatial, right? But we'll be functional in the technical, so that we can communicate. Farad will be fluent in the technical, but he'll be functional in the spatial, so we communicate. And then we have another group, right, that's functional in both. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. But again, let's see if I get a little change here. I'm getting a little technical difficulties on the, I'm not sure why, on the lighting here. Let me try one more thing here, brothers and sisters. That really not really that important. But I'm not sure why this is happening. So many things. So many things. Let me try one more thing here. Bear with me for 1 second, brothers and sisters. No, that's all right. I'll do that. Okay, well, I have to live with it this time. Not sure why. Let's check something here. Try something else. How about this? That's not too good either. Okay. We'll work with it as it is. Okay, we'll work with it as it is. Okay, brothers and sisters. Little technical difficulty here. It's not that big of a deal. But as I was saying, they speak to us in our language. And it says be one that would learn the language and then start teaching it to others. Because we have a new, this analytical language, like Farrakhan's tell you, well, you need to think analytically. No, you continue to think analytically. Analytical mind did not create a damn thing. Show me one thing the analytical mind created. See? The spatial mind created, technical mind was analytical mind brought into existence after it was, the idea came from the spatial mind, but now we got the technical mind loose, unbound, and tell me one thing that technical mind, the 100% technical mind is produced. I'm talking about what Farad, remember Farad, Master Farad Muhammad, right? He's technical, but he has enough space to communicate. He's the God. That's the whole idea. We made this, the whole idea of two minds, right? Spatial and analytical, now we have two distinct beings, personification of the spatial mind, analytical mind, right? But he's the righteous analytical mind. See, the other one is the extreme. We deal with these devils, they're the extreme. So they're taking out creative ability and deforming it, using it for evil purposes. See? That's why America's so innovative. Only country, only nation in the world that's as innovative to the extent that America is. No one even comes close. You say, oh, well, no, they're copying information they're learning from here. They're just copying it. They're good at copying it. The Japanese good at copying it. The Koreans good at copying it, right? The Europeans good at copying it, but they don't come up with, they don't generate those ideas. Not music and not anything. It's coming from here because we're here. So I'm gonna move into this presentation, brothers and sisters. But you need to understand, we are at war. You never seen a situation in the world like you see today. I've been talking about this for years, 30 years to be exact. And every day is the vision I've been telling you about is coming clearer and clearer and clearer. No one was telling you this, not even 5 years ago, not even 3 years ago. No one was telling you, no one was talking war with China, no one was talking war with Russia, no one was talking war with them, no one was talking war, right? Not even with Iran at the time, because they was under the JCPOA. So they was making peace with them. So all of a sudden, those are the three main characters, right? The three main players right now that they're talking about war with. And they're not talking about saints anymore. We're not talking about war long off. They're talking about war any day now. And even in the sequence that I've been telling you, because they say, we definitely got to go to war with Iran because they're about to produce a nuclear weapon. They're so close to purifying uranium, right? Enriching uranium, that they could have a explosive any time now. So we definitely got to take them out. See? And then China's on the move. You see? And then they're testing hypersonic missiles. And even Korea is testing hypersonic, North Korea is testing hypersonic missiles. And they got submarines running around with hypersonic missiles on them. And then Russia's telling, is pushing America. And they're all coalescing around Syria. If you understand the fifth seal, that's what it tells you. If you understand the fifth seal, you got two characters there. One has already been attacked. And they ask him, when you going to talk to, if you understand the angel, they're asking Farad, when are you going to do something about all this? He said, wait a minute, no, I'm not going to do anything until your fellow, that's a Shia, that's Syria, I have gone through what you're going through. And then I'm going to kick ass. And now we see first Iran went through 8 years of war back in the 80s. And now we see Syria being attacked, right, on all sides. And it says, That at that time, that's when mass Muhammad go into motion. They go into action. That's another sign right there, and we see it going on right now. And now everybody's coalescing around Syria. Everybody, why? Because that's where the war is going. See, that's where it's going to be ignited at. Because once it's ignited, it's going to spread like wildfire. Once the war is ignited, it's already going on. I'm saying when it hits 212 degrees boiling point, it's going to spread like wildfire. America's not going to be able to control it. They can't control it now. You see, they can't control it also. Look how it was humiliated in Afghanistan by sheep herders. You don't understand, brothers and sisters, because you're not thinking correctly. If you think correctly, this would be very simple. Because the thing is, it's very simple mathematics here. They were created in haste, as the Quran tells you. That means their structure is very weak. See? But we're in a pressure, and we're in a pressure environment. We're in pressure creation. This whole creation is based on pressure. This whole creation is based on pressure. And so, and it's two states of pressure. In expansion, the pressure diminishes. It's in a state of tension. That means all the energy is moving out. So that means the pressure is going weaker, and becoming more in its tension, because tension is the opposite of pressure. So the universe in a tension stage. So it's spreading out. So tension increases, right? Until it's full expansion, right? And it spins. See, in other words, spin. The spin is what causes the expansion. See? And so once they've expanded, the spin is already spent, right? Then the gravitational forces start pulling it back. And now it's in a state of pressure. And it comes back in the form of waves. Energy waves approximately every 50 years. See? So that means now the universe is becoming more pressurized. So now the only way you can withstand it, you have to be able to handle the pressure. And they cannot. They can only withstand 6,000 years. Now the pressure is too great for them. That's why they're confused. They're doing things that make absolutely no sense. I mean, they've been confused for quite some time. But they're saying things absolutely make no sense now. I mean, you talk to them, say, women not women anymore, girl. I mean, and all this stuff. It's just nothing that makes any sense. It does make sense to them, but we know it makes no sense at all, because their minds cannot handle the pressure. It's simple pressure. Remember, the pressure, your mind is pressure also. So if the environment, the pressure that you're exposed to is greater than your mind cannot handle it. That means you're going to be confused. You can't understand things. See, you're like senile, and you got a senile man running his whole show anyway. So he's saying things make no sense. It's not logical. It's not even analytically make sense. It doesn't even make sense in an analytical point of view. So that's what's happening right now. So when you look at it from that point of view, you don't have to worry about anything, because there's no way they can survive it. It's not impossible for them to survive it, because the pressure is greater than their structure. The pressure is greater than their structure. If you hit an egg with a hammer, there's no way in the world that egg is going to withstand that hammer. There's no egg on this planet that can withstand, right, even a bald egg, that can withstand the blow of a hammer. They cannot withstand it. It's impossible. They can try. One second, brothers and sisters. They can try, but it's all in vain. There's no way they can see, and it's just a matter of point, just a matter of time, is when they're fully, in other words, you put something under stress, like you squeeze an egg, you're squeezing it. At some point, right? See, I mean, it's trying to withstand, so it's under stress. But at some point, it just can't withstand, then it's just, and that's what's happening right now. They're under stress. They're under stress in every aspect of this society. They even say, what's happening in America? They're under stress in every aspect of it. War talk. That's how we make war, brothers and sisters. You have the God of war on the scene. He's monitoring the whole affair. See, he's making sure that they don't be able to reach out from the grave and do something. In other words, on their way out, they scorch the planet. That's their plan. To scorch the planet on the way out. He's make sure that doesn't happen. See? Because they cannot survive it. The pressure is too great. See? And the best they can produce to deal with it, if you understand how pressure works, it puts the best in the center to run the whole affair. And the best they can produce in the center is a senile man. That's a sign in itself. They cannot withstand it. The most powerful country on the planet could not withstand the pressure of Afghanistan. That tells you something. So it's suddenly they reach that threshold, right, where they can the stress just too great, that they can't maintain their form. See, when you're under stress, you can maintain your form, but you're under a lot of stress. Like you put a 100-pound bag on your back, man, you still maintain your form. But if it gets to be 200, it might crush you. See, then you don't have no form anymore. You just what? A splot, pancake on the ground. Because you lose form, you cannot maintain your structure. And so forth, their structure's falling apart. Look all this thing that's happening. They're dismantling their police force, they're dismantling the army because of so-called plague. I mean, that's the excuse they're using. We don't have to worry about those details. That's an analytical mind. You may be saying this is the reason, that's the reason. We don't care. The point is, it's nothing that no matter what you come with, you're going to be crushed. You just cannot withstand that pressure. When you understand like that, you don't get lost in the weeds. Oh, well, they're trying to hold up this. No matter what they do, no matter how you turn the egg around or whatever, right? The hammer hit it, it's going to crush it, it's going to break it, it's going to splash it. When you understand that, then you understand exactly what's going on. They cannot withstand it, period. They're being crushed. See? They say, oh, they're being crushed because of the energy wave we get. No. Because we all get an energy wave. It's what we're doing with that energy wave that's putting the pressure on. Because the spatial mind is conforming that pressure in a form that they cannot withstand. Because if we took and conform that pressure in a way, right, if we allowed them to force us into their vision, and so what we do is we convert it into a form that's set up for them. That's what they're trying to do. They convert us all to demons, you see, because the pressure, the energy has to take form. And so we're giving it form, right, that's opposed to them. That's why you have the two master gears. They're opposing each other. They want us to go and think along their lines. And so so therefore they can divert the pressure off themselves, right, because we're taking and conforming that pressure in a form that's acceptable for them. That's not pressurizing them. Hope you understand that, brothers and sisters. We are in control of this whole affair. The energy comes, we transform in a form that we can use. That's why I said the earth transform in a form that we can use, and then we transform it in a form, right, that we want it to be. So that's why you see all this technology. How do you think this technology came in? It didn't come out of nowhere. We just wake up one morning and all this stuff was here. No, it came out of the minds of men. It came out of spatial minds. They didn't have it. But 5,500 years, they had none of this technology. How come after 5,500 years, they didn't, and then all of a sudden, as soon as we over here, all of a sudden, now all this big boom, this explosion of technology. Yet there's no place else on the planet. Because everybody else is getting the technology that's being produced here, our innovation. That should tell you something right there, brothers and sisters. So I'm going to go in and just do a little, I'm just give you a little information about Angel. Like I said, it's, just explain a couple of things about it. See, trying to get you familiar with the Angel. That's your language. You will be speaking it shortly. But we don't understand this process. where energy's come back to the earth. It says it's momentous in the heaven and earth. It comes you above a sudden. That means it's momentous in the heavens and earth. That means it comes from the heavens, right? It's God's go to the earth. Then it comes to you of a sudden. That means earth converted a form you can use. That means now the earth is more energized. The air is more energized. The food is more energized, more energy. So now that's a form you can use. You can't use the raw energy that comes. See? Earth converts it. And then you start converting it into thoughts. And your spatial mind, it produces spatial thoughts. There's greater pressure than analytical thoughts. Okay? And so therefore, greater pressure pushes away lower pressure. So you creating pressure right on, and you say, well, you don't need an army for that. If you understand pressure, if you in a pool, right, and you put some compressed water, say it's just in a glass, small glass, and compressed, and you release it, it's going to push all the other water away from it until it's equal to the pressure, is equal to pressure around it. It doesn't matter how much water there is. Greater pressure push away smaller pressure. I don't care how much water there is, how much lesser pressure there is. The greater pressure will always move. It doesn't matter how much. It could be 1 billion times more volume than the greater pressure, right? But the greater pressure will move it. It will move it. That's just the way pressure works. That's why I said 10 will move 1,000. 1 will move 10,000. I'm trying to get you to understand, brothers and sisters. I hope you are. Because we're in control of this affair. We've always been in control of it. I hear people saying we broke it. I keep telling you, they did not break us. It's impossible to break the original people, right? They broke us away from our society. They broke us away from our nature, right? They tried to break us away from our nature. They couldn't say, it's impossible to do that, right? But they severed us from, right, the root of our nature, see? In other words, acting other than ourselves, hence acting other than ourselves. But we was not happy acting other than ourselves. So they did not just, if we'd have been happy acting other than ourselves, then they would have destroyed our nature. See? But there was always resistance. See, we was told to submit to Adam. We wasn't supposed to kiss his ass. We wasn't supposed to do that. And Adam was not supposed to oppress us. See? We were supposed to submit to his commands, but we weren't supposed to submit to his oppression. Because if we were supposed to submit to his oppression, right? And then then he oppressed us, then what's the problem? No. He's being punished because he oppressed us, because he went beyond the command. See? We're supposed to submit to him, we're supposed to do his bidding, right? But we weren't supposed to be oppressed and raped and murdered by him. So we have control, and now we exercise our control. And that's what you see. This technology and everything is putting pressure on them that they can't handle. And now it's backfiring on them. Cyber war, potential nuclear war. See? Disease, plagues, all come from this technology. They lose control of it because it was never theirs to begin with. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. See, we are at war. And we're winning. It's not who will survive the war of Armageddon. Who will win, and we're winning. There's no way they can stop us. Only way they can stop us is to get us to go, to abandon ourselves and go along with their vision, which a lot of us are doing. See? But they cannot stop us. Hope you understand that, brothers and sisters. So we'll go in and point out a couple of things here. This is the angel key here. Now, those who are familiar with that. And see, this is the spatial mind and analytical mind, the new one. See, Suleiman and Master Prophet Muhammad. Technical genius and spatial genius. Greater than the first God. Because now the spatial 100% in one being and 90% in one being and the analytical 9% in another being. Just enough 10% on those to be able to communicate with each other. Right? That's like doubling the size of your brain. In fact, that's like doubling the size of our brain. So if you look at the creation, it was made on the ambidextrous brain, right? That was half spatial, half. If we was able to do that with that, then what you think we're going to be able to do when we got spatial that's twice as powerful and technical that's twice as powerful? So our will is coming in right now, brothers and sisters, but you don't realize it because you don't understand it. See, we really have nothing to worry about because we have control of it right now because this world is really controlled by us. They're just trying to, it's like rain, right? They walk around with an umbrella. trying to keep them getting wet. Because all this technology and everything is like our mind, and they walk around with their technician and everything with umbrellas trying to, keep from being destroyed by their own technology they claim is theirs. It's not theirs, it's ours. See? And it's like just drizzling right now. What do you think happens when it starts storming? This is baby technology right now, but it's still coming from us. I can't keep asking the question. If you say that's not the truth, then why in the countries where there's all Europeans, almost 90%, how come if they're the best, how come they're not producing all this? How come they're not no technology innovations coming out of there? It's not coming out of India. It's not coming out of China. It's not coming out of Europe. It's coming out of America. America brought technology to the world. Why? Because we're here. They say, oh, it's because of democracy and all that. Well, they got democracy over in Europe. They got India. How is that making a difference? In fact, India is supposed to be the largest democracy in the world. That's the truth of the matter. And the demons, they're there to help. They're there to make that bridge between our minds and their daddy's minds, their technical minds. They're fully technical minds because they can't understand nothing we're talking about. So the demons, that's one of their purposes. They hang around you, get steal your ideas, they sleep with you, they walk with you, they look like you, they talk like you think they're you, and they steal your ideas and they run back to master with it. They did it when you was in the field. And just feel they're doing it back then. See, whatever you find out what you're thinking about, run back to the master. So we're going to take care of them demons. We're at war with the demons, we're at war with the jinn, we're at war with the devil, and we're at war with Satan, we're at war with the dragon, we're at war with all of it. It says that only one religion will be established. That's the true religion, which is Islam, mathematical Islam, the true language, the true reality. That's why right now, think about it. Before we came over here, what was their reality? None of it made any sense. They had no mathematical reality before we came here. They just had religion. They had no mathematical reality. In fact, there was a verse to it. If you went to the Pope with anything mathematics, like Galileo, threw your ass in jail. They had no mathematical reality. They had no mathematical language. They said, oh, the Greeks did some things, but they could even match what the Egyptians did. They had no mathematical reality. That's what technology is all about, until they brought us over here. You say, well, Isaac Newton, when did Isaac Newton come on the scene? What, the 1700s? They brought us over here in the 1500s. When they came over here, they didn't have any science. They had some muskets. And when you think about it, the arrows probably more effective than the muskets were anyway. Because you can pump off 2 or 3 arrows by the time they reload that musket. So it wasn't the musket that beat the Indians. It was disease and everything else that defeated them. And their ignorance. So you got this musket, and it wasn't that effective, and it wasn't accurate. And you got this guy on the thing, and he can flip off 4 or 5 arrows by the time you pull off one of those, shoot one of those things, not even accurate anyway. A musket, you want to tell me that the musket is the one that defeated them? No, it was not. They had no technology, nothing. In fact, when they came over here, the Aztecs and Incas, they went down there and they had mathematics that these people had never seen before. And they burned up alive because it didn't make any sense to them. They was going all over the world. We heard Marco Polo. They was going all over the world, stealing ideas from everybody. They stole trigonometry and algebra from the Arabs. They had none. Until they brought us over that story of Joseph. The king had no idea what to do. Right? Remember, Joseph was betrayed by his brothers, the Arabs. They betrayed us. Right? Threw us down the well, hoping to destroy us. And then the Israelites just took us, and then they was in trouble. They didn't know how to do anything. So they had to call Joseph. He saved their kingdom for them. And then how did they reward Joseph? They enslaved his children. That's us. The story is, dear brothers and sisters, we're at war. They declared war on us, and there's never been a war declared on people like they declared on us, because they meant to destroy us, and they did. They came very close to destroying us, told 100%. If Master Muhammad had not showed up when he did, we would have been toast. That's the marriage of two minds. That's what Habakkuk says. The Lord, right? The Holy One from Mount Paran and the God from Teman. That's the two. One was the Holy One, right? That's the high priest. And the God. That's the same two they're talking about in the angel. The Lamb and the God. The Lord of Lords and the King of Kings and the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. See? Two powerful minds. One's extremely technical. Not extreme. I should hold that word back. Because he still has a percentage of spatial, so we communicate. To keep that technical under control. See, the devils, they have nothing to control that technical. They can't even communicate with us. That's why one of the reasons why I hate school, they think we're stupid. They're totally analytical. See? And we have spatial and we have 10% technical, right? So we communicate with the technical. And you will again speak the pure tongue. It says it. Okay, let's look at this. Now, what I'm going to talk about briefly here is I'm just give some more information about the angel for those who see. I'm like a person that owns a gun shop. I got all kinds of weapons in there. I got machine guns. I got handguns. Right. I got rifles. Right. I got Uzis. I got all kinds of stuff in there. All of them do the job. See, so so you come in and I'll say, okay, what do you want? So that's what I'm giving you. I'm getting all this information in every aspect. I'm getting the mathematics of the universe, mathematics of yourself, right? I'm giving you five fundamental pillars of Islam, stuff you never got from any place else, and you're not going to get from any place else. Right? How to understand the sealed Bible, the unsealed Bible, get all the keys, right? All the chapters. I'm getting all these weapons. See, so you look at it and say, okay, which one's comfortable for you? And you pick the one that comes for you, you go with that. See, but some feel like you want to go buy all of them, and you can't use any of them, and so you don't. All you're gonna do is get yourself all shot up. Find the one that you can handle, right? See, that you can zero in and be a hot shot every time you pull the trigger, right? What they say, what they shoot for effect, and go with that. You don't need all the weapons. Just find one that you could handle, that you're comfortable with, right? That's effective. Right? That you hit your target with, and go with that. Because I don't expect you to know. How could you? See? Like I said, a lot of sacrifice went into getting this information to you, brothers and sisters. Like I said, I didn't ask for it. I felt like I was tricked into it. I had no idea what I was getting into. But a great sacrifice, that's why I call him the Lamb, a great sacrifice was made to get this information to you. See? Because you're going home, brother, since you're going back, you got option. You're going back. See? Think about it. You was promised the promised land. See? You have to turn into a paradise. Nobody's going to do that for you. And if they did, how would it work? Because if Master Father Mom turns to paradise, okay, what's this paradise? Which is our definition of paradise? All chocolate cakes for everybody? What if you don't like chocolate cake? What if you just like vanilla? What if you don't like iced tea? What if you don't like bananas? See? And he does. You understand? You have to make the paradise tailor it to your nature. We all have the same basic nature, right? But all we have, we all have the same basic nature because we're part of the same body. But the heart cell does not act like the liver cell, and liver cell does not act like the eye cell. But they're all part of the same body. So if I make a paradise for my eye cell, that's not going to work for my butt cell. But I care about both of them because if one of them act up, you're going to, your butt cell acts up, right? You're going to notice it. You ain't going to ignore it. Oh, man, I the butt. Really? All of them matter. All our people matter. We don't have this crap in hereafter with one better than another. No, we appreciate every one of each one of us. How you doing, brother? How you doing, sister? We don't. Oh, you a garbage? Really? We don't go into that. Hi, Assalamu alaikum. I love to see you. You love that garbage person. If we have a situation of somebody just use an example, somebody pick up a garbage, you love him just as much as the person that bring you dinner. He gets the same greeting, the same love. Because when you can take a shower, right? You say, okay, I'm gonna wash my feet, but I ain't gonna wash my hands, or vice versa. You wash both of them effectively. You love each one of them just as much. That's the true nature of things. Not this crap. Oh man, he's just a garbage man. See, I'm a big executive. Really? No, that's garbage. So let's look at this real quick here. I'm talking about these keys. And why do I care about the keys? See, something I really haven't talked about a little bit recently. Because that's part of understanding the angel. You got all these things in there for a reason. Now, one thing about the keys, there's a lot of stuff about the keys, but I'm mentioning in this context here, because the keys identify a lot of other things. Because it said there was 4 keys and there was 2 doors. Now identify who the doors and who the keys are. See? Now, and you got 2 types of doors. See, you got the golden doors, that means the door is open. If it's red doors, it means the door is closed. In your language, brothers and sisters. See? So, the door is closed, right? Up top, the doors are closed. And the doors are open down. The golden ones, they're open. Okay? The doors too. Because when it's reversed, when it originates up top, that's the position they will be in. See? It's totally systematic. It's a certain system here. We don't distort it. A certain flow. Once you understand it, memorize it, it doesn't change. So for doors, you need keys. So you got 4 keys. So who has the key? Well, that would normally be the lion, right? But we're saying we don't cut the chase here. It's Obama. See? Okay. So it says, now, before I go into, this is a little side issue here. It says, remember I was saying about the angel? It says, It's the language that says, and no one was able to learn the song if not, okay, let me see. Okay, a little before that. And they are singing a song new inside the throne, inside of 4 living and older persons. And no one was able to learn the song if not 144,000 having been brought from the earth. That means the only ones, right, they's with the Lamb now, they're the only ones going to be able to learn this language. That's how natural language. They're the only ones going to be able to learn it. Because they're spatial. Because that's their natural way of thinking. They just don't realize it yet. Once it start rolling, it's going to keep going. Once they start, get a grip on it, it's going to just spread like wildfire. It's going to take over their minds. They just have to get used to it because we've been away from it 50,000 years. We haven't spoke our pure tongue in 50,000 years. And even then, we never spoke it like this because we was ambidextrous. We was ambidextrous. Our minds are ambidextrous. But now our minds is 90% spatial, so this is okay. So it's a language, bro. Since like I said, right now it's just English grammar, but this is the way you're going to speak in the hereafter. It might be seem strange to you now, but once you get it, you understand it, and you understand that I see those our children out there. They trying to move towards this. They speak in allegorical. That's what this language is. Allegorical language, spatial things allegorically, symbolically, and it's powerful. Okay, here we go. Now, I showed here, this is when this actually takes place in Prophet Muhammad resurrected, right? Back 1,400 years ago, so I'm not going into details. But anyway, that's the structure. So, because I saw it a little later, right? So, in other words, so we've been read all of, we weren't all those different colors at that time. It was all gold. But I'm not changing anything. See, the demons up there, they weren't demons at that time. See, just original people. See, okay. So, and it says, and the angel in the Philadelphia of Escalaces, right? That's another word for church, but that's the proper translation. If you read the King James, say churches, right? The but. Now, you don't find that the but you don't find the but in King James or any other translation. Only in the transliteral, because they don't put their interpretation into the scripture. All they do is convert. They take the word and they take the word, actual word, and they convert it to the language. It's a word for word, no explanation, no interpretation. Because the problem is that it says right now this is transliteral, but this is the Jehovah's Witness version of it. Now they had a little problem with that too. They screwed up a little bit themselves, because it says the but. They see that threw them, because it really should be B-U-T-T, the but. But they took that off because they couldn't, because in their mind, they're thinking that's Jesus talking. So how in the hell can you call him the but? Even with the T off of there. Just the but. How can you call him the but? What does that mean, the but? Because they think that's Jesus talking. It's not Jesus talking at all. It's the devil talking. It's Lucifer talking. But they think so, because that's what they think it is, because they tell you that person in chapter 1 is Jesus is not. They said right there, it says lack the Son of Man. That means if you lack something, that means you're not it. A tangerine is like an orange, but it's not an orange. So that's the problem. So it should be the but it should be double T. But anyway, we go this like this right there. The but is saying, holy, truthful, having the key of David. See. So who's having these keys? Let's go back here and see who's having these keys now. See who this but is. He's the one that got the keys. That's the but. He's the one that got the keys. The one who is here. The lion. I'm saying it's Obama. He's the one that got the keys. He's the one that's talking. Right? Because there's 3 people's talking. It's the Spirit, it's the one that knows the works, and the one that's the but. So he's saying, having the holy truth, having the key of David. See? So, remember there's 4 keys. So the one key is right here. He's under David. That means, who is David? It's telling you, David is Master from Muhammad. See, that's it. This identifies people too. So you know who the dragon is, who Elijah is, who Farad is, who all these different people is, because these keys is explain. Is like a opening telling you who these people are. So it tells you. Remember I said he was David? That angel's telling you that's David, because that's one of the keys. The keys are also the 4 winds. That's one of the keys right there. So that shows he's key to David. So that's telling you that Master Muhammad is David. That means Suleiman would be his son, right? So when you go into, it unlocks the whole thing about the story of David. So now you're going to the story of David. Now, like I try to explain to you what David meant. So this gives you the pointer, because it tells you that he, Master Muhammad is David. Okay? And then it says, in the living, I became dead, and look, living, he's lying anyway, and I'm having the keys of death and Hades. Now we know who death and Hades are. Remember, so here's the key, here's the other key here, here's the other key here. So this is Hades, and this is death. See, we don't have to guess. Once you understand these things, I'm not just saying these things. The key is telling you who these things are, who they are. See? So we've got the key of David, now we've got the key of death and Hades. That's why it's saying that. So now we know who death and Hades are. See? Let me do something here real quick. No, leave it there, leave it there. Leave it there. And then we go over here, and remember we got 1 key left, right? And the 5th angel, see, that's the 5th angel there. Oh, let me say this, okay. The 6th angel is Gabriel. He's Gabriel. I don't think I've ever mentioned this before. He's Gabriel. He's the Gabriel one that raised up Master Muhammad. May raise up Prophet Muhammad. That's Gabriel. The 6th angel is Gabriel. See, you see Gabriel, the 6th angel right here? He said he was on the island Patmos. We know that this here. I'll go back in a second to show. I'll show you right now. I'll show you right now before I go there. See the water right here? That door right there has to be Gabriel. Right? See? So, the wars represents, right, the Sunnis. See? And so that's he came and raised up Prophet Muhammad, and they raised up the Sunnis. Because water also represents the Sunnis. So I just thought I'd mention that. And so this is chapter 20. So it says, the 5th angel trumpet and star out of heaven had fallen to earth and was given him the key of the abyss. So he said the abyss has something to do with the earth, right down here. This is the earth represents down here. So that's the abyss. So now you know the abyss, because that means the European countries. Remember in chapter 20, see, Satan and the devil, they was all thrown into the abyss. That shows there's European countries. That's chapter 20. See? That's why in Understand What Keys identifies those places, who's what and what's what. And then if you go down, see, this is the 5th angel trumpeting, and it said, and it was given him the key to the abyss. Okay, and then you read out here. This is chapter 20 right here. This part, I saw an angel stepping down out of heaven, having the key of the abyss. He had the key. That's the 6th one here. That's the one I'm talking about right here. That's Gabriel. Right, and a great chain upon the hand of him. That's a chain. See, on his hands. See, and he laid hold of the dragon, the serpent, the archaic, the devil, and Satan, and bound 1,000 years. See, all that's in here. See, but this who was bound down here. See, this is the abyss. And remember, it says this one he was given the key. So in other words, the 5th one went, but he had to wait till he was given the key. When was he given the key? He wasn't given the key until, right, the four winds blew. And when he was given the key, right, see, that gets back into when he was, I'm not sure like here, but when he was given the key, that means he released the locusts, right? And locusts would be under here when you, right? Because then they would, that's another story. But he released the locusts. See, so he wasn't doing, he didn't do it right away. He didn't do it until he was given the key. And that's the abyss. The abyss, European countries. So when they tell us crap about, when you read chapter 20, that's BS, what they're telling you. That means the European countries would be in the dark ages for 1,000 years. And they came out, because during that time, right, Adam was there. He was the one put to sleep for 1,000 years. Eve wasn't there yet. Eve didn't show up until after 1,000 years was over, and then out of Britain came America. That's Eve. Came out of his side. See? And both of them together produced Cain. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. That's some information. Some of you can use it, whatever. I put a lot. It's my job to get information, and some of it will strike you some ways, some will strike you other ways. How you want to use it. But again, I caution you: don't try to go out there, right? Two-gun anti-nuclear, whatever kind of stuff. I got two. Get one gun. Make sure you can use it. Make sure it's loaded. Make sure you point. Make sure you work it, and work with that. I mean, I got two guns. I got a machine gun on my back. Yeah, okay, you got all that stuff. All you're gonna do is get yourself shot. You find one and learn it. Get it down, study it, and learn it, and you'll be more effective than just going out here trying to say, all the stuff that you don't understand you're talking about. Because if you go out there and you start shooting blanks, right, or you start missing your target, what's gonna happen? What if they don't miss? So you want something that you're going to make sure you can control it, right? You can point it, and you make sure you can hit your target every damn time. Now that it would shout all over the place, missing everything. See? And you mess around, might even shoot, right? Somebody's on your side. Because when you go out and you distort this message, you're shooting other people that's out here, that's on your side. Because you're not impressing anybody. Okay? Just pick something and learn that. And if you learn that real good, right, master that, then pick up something else and master that. Okay? This is all yours, but the point is, right? We're at war, so we ain't got time to go out here pretending we some Navy SEAL or something. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I think that's pretty much it. Okay, again, brothers and sisters, we're at war. And our people don't know we're at war, and a lot of them has capitulated to their own destruction. Because no one told you to give up. But you listen to these demons like Farrakhan. He has no idea. He can't read the angel. He couldn't. It's impossible to read it. All he can read is a sealed Bible, because it's written analytical. So that's what's the only thing he can read. He can quote it. See? So you got the two together. You got the analytical and spatial, right? Analytical. You got the analytical and spatial. You got the sealed, unsealed. They put together. See? They're right there together. But the spatial will blow away the analytical. That's what's happening right now. That's why they couldn't understand it. They said the Lamb, where did the Lamb get the book from? He took it out of the hand of Satan. That God you see sitting on the throne, that's Satan. He took it from him. He had it. Because remember it says, no one in heavens or earth, under the earth, wasn't that one on the throne, wasn't he? I tell you, he was sitting right there in heaven. The throne was set in heaven. So the one sitting on the throne was in heaven. So he said he didn't understand it. So he said, that's God. And it's not God. He said a lying throne. That's why you got to get transliteral. That means the throne was a lie. He tells you right there, it's a lie. They pretend to be us. It says it right there, the lying throne, not lying like laying down. It's lying. It said Lying, a lying throne. That's what translators said. They had a problem with that one too. It was set in heaven. That means, right, that's the Middle East over there. And it's a lying throne. See? And he had the book. But he didn't understand it. Because he's technical. And it was spatial. And the Lamb took it from him, and he was able to understand it. But he had to make a great sacrifice to do that. Because he didn't say in the dictionary about it says. That's what made him worthy, because he made the sacrifices. All of you are able to do it, but you didn't make, some of you wasn't even around then, but it was required to make great sacrifice. He was backed into it, but he agreed to do it because he loves people. That's one thing I can tell you. That's the reason why he did it, because the sacrifice was more than most of you. In fact, almost all of you would able to handle. Because it said he looked like he was slain from the foundation of earth. That means, read Jonah. Read if you want to understand, read Job. Job tells you the sacrifices is about the best part. Because when they say he came in a volume of the books, what it's saying to you is that all those books are different aspects of his life. Jonah's aspect of his life, right? Daniel's aspect of life, Job's aspect of life. Joseph takes and outlines Job. The book of Job outlines all his suffering, all he suffered, everything. Everybody was telling, "Why don't you just curse God? Just what the hell are you doing that for?" But he held on after all that. He got angry. Even in Jonah got angry. So but he said he'd do it anyway. He did in spite of all of that. He still did it. Lost his children, lost everything. See? And then was punished and suffered. He suffered all kinds of stuff. Not complaining. He did it. He loves his people. But it wasn't anything he was happy to do. He didn't run up and say, "Hey, can't pick me." Otherwise, he said the opposite, "Man, can you get somebody else?" So it's not something to play with, brothers and sisters. This is war. The greatest war in history, greater than the gender wars. Because that's what that was, the so-called idea about blowing the moon away. That was the gender wars. This is greater than the gender wars. It's the war of the minds. The gender wars, it shook the planet. It split the planet in half. And they said this time will be greater than that. Unprecedented. This is the mind wars. Those were the gender wars. 66 trillion years ago, that was the gender wars. Now this is the mind wars. At the end of time, decide who's going to rule, right, the creation. Who's going to rule the creation for the next 72 trillion years, going back to the beginning again. Everything returns to Allah, as the Quran says. Who's going to rule the next 72 trillion years? That's what it's all about. And they ain't playing. They want to stay here. And they're going to do everything they can. If they can't, they're going to scorch the earth, to leave it barren so we can't even use it. That's why Master Muhammad's on the scene to make sure that does not happen. You see all this stuff? Do you understand about all the stuff that's happening here? Let me just spend a couple minutes on this, and then we're going to just move on. Close out. As I was saying earlier, brothers and sisters, you've never seen a situation like this here. China's on the move, Russia's on the move. The situation in the Middle East. They're not playing. And now they're telling you, as I've been telling you for quite some time, their whole nuclear arsenal is in danger. Because they say these so-called UFOs are neutralizing their nuclear arsenal. That means America may not have a nuclear arsenal. I would suggest they don't, because I'm telling you, they're not going to be able to use it. Master Muhammad would not allow them to scorch this planet. I mean, what's gives a promised land that's going to be radiated? And so that's why they keep it secret. And now truth is coming out. They will not be able to use it. And when that information becomes world widely known, which they can happen to America, that's the only thing keeping these people of America's back, is their so-called nuclear arsenal. This is not a game, brothers and sisters. We are at war. And they're going 24/7 to make sure you never understand that you never see it until it's too late. It said it will come upon you as a snare. They're preparing the snare for you. Excuse me. They're preparing the snare for you. And most of you are already caught up in it. But you're going to wake up in a minute. Master Muhammad has a surprise for you. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. Oh. He's getting ready to take out the God you've been worshiping. You thought you was worshiping Jesus. He get ready to take out false Israel, Satan. And when he does that, there's no driving force. There's nothing the power of Gog and Magog anymore. They're going to roll them right up. Just like Christ, they're going to roll them right on up. And a lot of you are going to be rolled up with them. But they're going to try, they're probably going to try to take you out. See? I keep telling you, you're going to find out in a minute. A lot of you are going to be caught up in it. But we're going to get a lot of you. But a lot of you be caught up in it. See? They're going to try to take you out. It says it's going to drive you. It says it's going to drive you out. Just drive you out. When they go to war, that war is going to cause them to drive you out altogether. When you drive somebody out from their homes and everything, how do you do it? With birthday cake, with lilacs and roses, right? You're killing them, you're beating them. They're under threat of violence. You drive them out with violence. That's why it says flee, because they're going to come when they know their time is up, right? It says they're full of wrath because they know they have a short time. They're full of wrath. That means they're going to destroy everything they can on their way out. Hope you understand that, brothers and sisters. You don't understand that world because they keep them, they got the demons. No. All this stupid stuff from Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all, these stupid movies and everything got you distracted, MFL, NBA, all kind of stuff. Distracted to your destruction. Distracted to your destruction. But we're here to save as many as we can. See? Because you have no idea the world that's being prepared for you. Death will be overcome. It tells you. It's not after you die. I talked about that in another place. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I'm going to leave it there. Assalamu alaikum.